Welcome back, folks, to another episode of Coach's Corner, a first here for Coach's Corner history. We'll talk about that, but a reminder that Coach's Corner is powered to you by Central Hydraulics, proud distributor of Boss plows and equipment for over 26 years. We've got a coach-player combination for the first time ever here on Coach's Corner. We have assistant coach Mikey Lawrence and defenseman number 23 Cole Sieben joining us here this week on the program. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining us here today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Of course, we start off with a sweep at home, returning home for the Granite City Lumberjacks, defeating the Mason City Toros in both games Saturday, Sunday, changing the schedule, but always good to have two wins at home. Starting off here, Coach, talking about the game on Saturday, 6-3 victory for the squad there. It was a tight one in the first period, 2-2 after one period. It was kind of a weird start overall. Looking back, of course, the game on Saturday after that one period, what did you really see there to open up the weekend there?
Yeah, I thought we played well Saturday. All around, it was a good game for us. Had some good forecheck pressure, which we've been struggling a little bit to sustain early. So we got on the bodies quick, and, it was, I believe it was 0-0 after one. But then we got the ball rolling after that.
Of course, with it, being able to pull away there in that contest too with the game on Saturday of, really ramping up the physicality. That was definitely one thing that took notice in that game in Saturday too, that you're able to obviously pull away in that contest also.
Yeah, it's good. We love being physical. That's when we're most successful as a team, establishing that good forecheck, being physical, laying bodies below their goal line, and then we just go to work from there. I mean, we tend to start taking over games when we are working below their goal line, so it's good to establish a good forecheck, like I said, and, lay on the body everywhere along the ice, and then no one really wants to play.
Playing against Mason City, they are in the hunt for that fourth and final spot in the West Division. That certainly, I'm sure, was on the mind of the Lumberjacks, at least being able to know that they're a team that's desperate in a potential playoff matchup situation. How do you feel the team really responded overall on the weekend?
Really well. I mean, nobody's friends in this division, so if you can take away somebody's season, we try and do that as much as we can. Obviously, that means somebody else is going to get in, but it's we like being the bad guy. We like ruining someone's season.
Talk about the game on Sunday. We'll hand it over to Lay Siebes here. A 7-1 victory over the Toros too. It was a fast start, we'll certainly say. I think with 28-5 in shots in that first period. What was really the mindset, Siebes, for the team to come out swinging in that first period?
Yeah, I think a big key for us this year has been stringing together full 60s, and we've kind of struggled with that all year. And I think we did a really good job of that yesterday. Stringing together a full 60 was really good and consistent effort throughout. And the emphasis to go into that game is take over right away and don't let them get any breathing room and just take over from the beginning. So I think we did a really good job of that.
Yeah, a little tight in that second period, ultimately coming out with a 2-1 lead in that period as well. Capitalizing on special teams, power play, shorthanded too. But looking back, and in that third period as well, you ultimately score a goal too. What led to, obviously, the team being able to pull away there in those last two periods?
Yeah, I think we talked about it after one when it was a tight game. We knew that once we popped one in, then we would just start scoring left and right, and that's exactly what happened. So that was big to get one on them, and then the rest came pretty easily for us.
Ultimately out shooting Mason City 70-19 in that win for Granite City, a 7-1 win to sweep the weekend. Now we're at a point here at the season, Siebes, with the veteran leadership, you're in a bit of a grind here. West Division regular season titles wrapped up. You've got that playoff position locked in as well. What do you really see here leadership-wise for some of these older guys to, kind of keep things going momentum-wise here for some of the younger guys that might be in a new position here?
Yeah, for sure. I think it's big for both the rookies and vets to kind of lock it in here in this season and get serious around this point, get dialed for playoffs, and keep this ball rolling.
Absolutely. Of course, Granite City going to be back at home with a quick turnaround this week, with it being a Friday-Saturday matchup at home. You get the Moose on Friday with Saturday against Wilmer too. Siebes, what do you see here with a week of practice, a little bit of a shorter week for practice leading up to a couple of games here? What do you see here that the team needs to keep working on here to keep the momentum going?
I think D-zone's always a big thing for us to get dialed in during the week. That'll never hurt to improve over the week, and then I think that one Friday is going to be big for us. We haven't found a way to get past the Moose yet, so hopefully we can Friday.
Of course, it being a special weekend too, United Heroes League weekend. Of course, you've been a part of the special weekend it is, special uniforms that are going to be a part of it. Looking forward to another great weekend with those.
Yeah, it should be fun. It's always an honor when we get to wear some special jerseys and support a good cause. So looking forward to it.
Of course, Coach Lawrence, we want to talk about too at the weekend coming up. What do you see with the team that needs to look at with this matchup starting off with the Moose here this weekend?
Yeah, like Sieben said, they've had our number all year. It's going to be crucial for us to get a win against them this weekend, but we bring the same energy and the same gameplay we had this weekend. It shouldn't be an issue whatsoever. So looking forward to the week, just dialing it in practice. Sieben said D-zone. We've hit on it, I think, every single week in the coach's corner. D-zone, D-zone, D-zone. But yeah, tighten up the power play a little bit. Other than that, just keep this thing going.
Be sure to check it out. United Heroes League weekend coming up. Friday against the Minnesota Moose. Saturday against the Wilmer Warhawks. Both 7:30 puck drops here from Miller Buick GMC Arena. With Coach's Corner, powered to you by Central Hydraulics. Before we part away here with this special show, we've got the elephant in the room that we need to address. No, it's not me. We got some special shirts. These two guys are wearing the classic LeBron, Dwayne Wade, alley-oop dunk, whatever. You've seen the picture a million times, but a little bit of a lumberjack twist to it. Coach, we got to talk about it here. Why this shirt? Why this design?
Well, it being my first year coming in, Sieben's kind of gravitated towards me a little bit. I don't want to say took me under his wing, but he was one of the first guys to come up, introduce himself and stuff like that. And then actually Eric Moser is the one who threw together the edit. It's beautiful.
Quality choice for your picture as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, couldn't have picked a better one. Hair was on point that day.
Yes, it was.
No, it's a good one. I'm throwing the alley-oop to Siebes. Usually it's 2-3 apple tree throwing the assist to people, but on this one I got the call for the dish, so he's going in for the finish.
Lace Siebes here, of course, really finishing off the weekend with getting a goal there, but it's kind of poetic also that you're throwing one down here in the picture. How do you feel about the shirts and the design?
Oh, I love it. It's kind of a joke with some buddies in high school that my nickname would be Lace Siebes because 23 was my number, and I have the same birthday as LeBron. Little fun fact, December 30th. So it's kind of a running joke, but I love it. It's funny.
Love it, and hopefully we will get many more dunks in other ways coming up here this weekend. Again, Coach's Corner, powered to you by Central Hydraulics, proud distributor of Boss Plows and Equipment for over 26 years. Number 23, Cole Sieben, and assistant coach Mikey Lawrence join us here this week. Be sure to stay up to date with your Lumberjacks by going to na3hl.com for full scores, schedules, and much more, while also following us on our social media platforms. This is Coach's Corner. I'm your host, Paul Vold. We'll check in with you next week.
Start the engine, shine the light into the storm. Knuckles white, and the clock ticks. Time does not define me, it drives me to keep roads, schools, and storefronts open. Although the job is done for now, the clock will always